What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the second deck tech. If you're just watching this randomly, well, this is just a black-red mid-range deck tech right before GPDC. We got about a month of the format left, and we are hyped about it. We're trying to do the best we can, kind of get in there, play a nice little standard GP, maybe even make a run. We will see. So, what do we got cooking up here? Well, we got black-red mid-range. So, as I mentioned in some of the other videos, and is, like a overlaying theme, right? The format started aggro control. The aggro decks were beating all the Nicol Bolas decks, so that's why aggro rose to the top. The mid-range decks then suffice to beat those decks, so now you have to beat the mid-range decks. Well, so a bunch of the control decks, like Blue-Red Approach, came in to beat all the mid-range decks. So if you can beat the mid-range decks and still get under the control decks, that's where you want to be. So the question is did we get there with this beauty? So how are we beating the mid-range decks? Doomfalls, Lilianas, Kalidas', Goblin Dark Dwellers, Chandra's, infinite removal, right? We're removing all their threats. We're gaining life, so they're like Glorybringer or Elder Deep Fiend doesn't randomly kill us, or their one like Lord Anthem and Zombies doesn't kill us. We're killing all their threats. We're building up card advantage using Chandra's and Liliana's and Kalidas', and we're trying to finish the game off with a Giant Kalidas, with a Goblin Dark Dwellers, with a Scorpion God, something like that. Is that a great plan against aggro? Well, that's why we have 3 Kalidas, 4 Gifted Aetherborn, right? Tons of room to maneuver against aggro. You don't even need Aethersphere Harvester in this deck, although I know some of the earlier versions were playing it. I don't think the Scorpion God is good enough. I think that gets cut. I think Glorybringer is good enough, although I don't know if we add the 4th Glorybringer or simply another 2 or 3 drop. That's interesting. Like, you could definitely play a Live Fast or something in this deck just in order to be able to flash it back. With the Goblin Dark Dwellers, a little extra card draw is never too bad. This deck does run out of gas. Also not sure about 26 lands. 25 seems fine. But this is a great option if your metagame is a ton of aggro. Now, in the control matchup, you're basically racing to Liliana or Chandra, right? The blue-white approach matchup, interesting. The blue-white approach matchup's interesting. Dreamstealer, Dispossess, Transgress the Mind, Gonti, fantastic out of the board. I mean, if you land a Dreamstealer, it is just GG's against control decks. So you have some hope there for sure. But this deck is really geared to beat the aggressive decks in the format. So if you're at an FNM level type thing and there's a ton of aggro in the format, right? There's still mono red and zombies and green black. This is kind of where you want to be. If there's a lot of green black, you probably side out Magma Sprays for fatal pushes. If there's a lot of red and zombies, you side out the fatal push for a Magma Spray. Pretty simple stuff like that, but this deck's versatile. It can also handle a lot of stuff, right? We have Dispossesses and Abrades for all the Godfarer's Gift decks, etc., etc. So we have some game against everything. I like it a lot. My issue with it is I don't know if the deck is synergistic enough. Obviously, all the cards are very powerful on their own, but one of the advantages of the energy deck is that the cards build on each other, right? So, like, even if they kill your Bristling Hydra, you still get the energy, so you're still getting, like, a 1.5 for 1 or something. Or even if they kill your Ruler Virtuoso, you still got a token, or even if they kill your Rogue Refiner, you still drew a card, etc., etc. I'm not sure if this deck is, like, quote-unquote synergistic enough to really be a factor, but we will see. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and we're moving on to the next deck tech.